Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Side by Side. We go to restaurants that are in the same vicinity that serve the same food, and we let you know which one reigns supreme. Today on this beautiful New York City summer day, we're actually going to be satisfying that sweet tooth. We're going to be going to two churro shops. Now, with Mexico City being such a huge destination for New Yorkers to vacation to, a lot of that culture has come back stateside with a number of taco shops opening up, a number of restaurants opening up, and what we're going today is to churro shops. The first stop is going to be El Churro, which is right here in the Lower East Side, and then a few blocks to the west is going to be La Churreria. Our first stop is going to be El Churro, which is known as a hipster shop that is in the Lower East Side that serves churros with over 10 different dipping sauces that you have a choice from. Now, the Israeli owner, he opened this vegan-friendly churro shop despite being a non-vegan, which is actually pretty funny. So let's go inside, check it out, see what they're all about. Alrighty, now what makes El Churro vegan friendly is the flour that they use for their churros is a mixture of cassava, coconut, and rice flour. Now I love summers in New York, and I have to say I'm really excited to satisfy this sweet tooth at this first side by side of El Churro. For our dipping sauces, we have the honey lavender white chocolate and then the dark chocolate. Now if you get dark chocolate or milk chocolate, it's going to come as a hot dipping sauce. This one, it's on the cooler side. Now what we ordered, we had 3 churros that cost us $8, and then each dipping sauce was $3.50. So in total, it cost us about $15. First, I'm going to take a bite of this by itself, without the dipping sauces, just to see how this delicious churro tastes. As somebody that has a very bad sweet tooth, there's a good amount of sugar on this that really satisfied that sweet tooth. As we saw, it comes fresh out of that fryer. So this is, it's a little bit, it's not totally hot, but it's a little bit warm. You can see I can still hold it. And the crispiness of it also had a nice crispy texture. Truth be told, I kind of wish it was a little bit fluffier so there was a nice soft inside, but that's just me and a personal preference that I do have. Still, it's very tasty. Now let's try this first dipping sauce, the honey lavender white chocolate. You can actually tell that's pretty thick. Nice thickness to it. Look at that. Oh, here we go, folks. Also, I'm breaking it apart because it's rude to double dip. You don't want to double dip your eat sides. So here we go. Cheers. I don't know how it came to this, but okay. I love the cold dipping sauce because you have these 2 different temperatures that your mouth's absorbing right now. The coolness of that dipping sauce also with the warmth of the churro made for just a very interesting kind of like temperature mixture that's going on within your mouth. Now the flavor, this tasted like Fruity Pebbles. The combination of this churro with like cinnamon, with the sugar, and then this was just, it was almost like a fruity delight. Like Fruity Pebbles is one of my favorite breakfasts, but the honey lavender, it was like a breakfast cereal in the morning. Just waking up as a kid on a Saturday and just having a delicious bowl of Fruity Pebbles. That's what the honey lavender tasted like. This is a thick, creamy texture as well. So there's really just the honey lavender. I enjoyed it. It was delicious. Had a nice sweetness to it that added to the churro. Also because of the thick texture, it was like a milky bowl of cereal. So this was recommended to us by the woman at the register, and I'm glad she recommended it to us. Now onto that hot chocolate. And here we go for the hot dip. You can tell that's a high quality dip. The dark chocolate has a little bit more bitterness than the sweet milk chocolate would. So in terms of sweetness, the honey lavender white chocolate was much more sweet. This one had a little bit more bitterness to it, but was still sweet as well. This one just had a stronger flavor. If I'm choosing one or the other, I got to go with the recommendation that the cashier gave to me. This one also, the texture was not as thick when we dipped it, as you probably noticed, kind of dips and drips a lot. Whereas with this one, it had much more of a thicker texture to it, where the dip kind of just stuck to the churro while you were eating it. So that's going to be the difference that you notice between the 2 dips. As our first place on the side-by-side, I have to say, I'm highly impressed with this place. I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad that we stopped in this morning. Next stop, we've come to Mulberry Street, and we've come to La Churreria, which is actually a cafe brought to you by Jesus Lolo Manso. who's also the owner to the restaurant next door, the Soccer at Paella Bar. Just as El Churro wanted to pay homage to Mexico City and bring the Mexican-style churros to Manhattan, Manso, he wanted to bring the Spanish-style cafe and his interpretation of what a churro should be to the island also. So let's go inside, check it out, see what they're all about. So for side-by-side, we traditionally get the same exact thing. For instance, when we were doing the pizza episode, we did pepperoni pizza versus pepperoni pizza. We're doing a little bit different here because churros are churros. When we went to El Churro, we got the churros with the dipping sauce, but here at La Churreria, we've actually gotten the stuffed churros. We wanted to keep the comparison as close as possible. So the two that we got was the dulce de leche and then the Nutella. Now, I've been criticized in the past for not doing the best for last. I have a feeling best is going to be that Nutella, so I'm going to try the dulce de leche first. The first thing you're going to notice when you pick up this bad boy is the density. This is thick, and might I say, at the last place that we went to, where we had churros and we got two dipping sauces, it was $15. Here, we got these two massively thick. This is almost like a meal in itself, where I could have one, director could have one, we'd both be satisfied. This was $4.50, so a little bit more bang for your buck when you do come over here. But let's see how it does flavor-wise. I was criticizing the last place how I just said I wish it was a little bit fluffier. This was dense. It was also fluffy. You could even see on the inside how there's a little bit more bread on the inside as well. It's not just like a crispy, like cinnamon toast crunch. It actually is like a nice thick piece of bread that was fried to perfection and then stuffed with this delicious dulce de leche. It was very satisfying. I'm going to have to take another bite because I was so blown away by the texture and the fluffiness of this. That's exactly what I was looking for. But let me have another one. I'll let you know how that flavor is. So it definitely does not have a ton of sugar like El Churro had. El Churro, I liked it because I have a sweet tooth, but even myself, I was like, man, this is a lot of sugar that they're putting on here. This one, there's not as much sugar. It was sweet, but almost like a tang to it as well, just a hint of sourness that was delicious. And okay, so if I'm comparing like the dark chocolate dipping sauce with the churro versus this all the way. But I kind of want to just, before I start saying who wins, I want to try the Nutella as well. So here goes the Nutella. Cheers. That was so satisfying. That hit the spot. The fluffiness of the churro was just fantastic. Also, there's a good proportion of sugar to churro, not overpowering, not fully sweet, and then just the creaminess of the Nutella, and just how rich that fluffy chocolate is, and just like all of the flavors coming together in one. These stuffed churros are fantastic. I love Mulberry Street. I love coming down here, getting some good eats, and then just kind of exploring the section of the city because Lower East Side is awesome. It'd be hard not to walk by this place and pass on that Nutella churro because it was phenomenal. Yes. Aside from just the stuffed churros, there's a number of different things that you can get here as well. You can get churro ice cream sandwiches. You can get a cantaloupe churro sandwich, churro lollipop, cantaloupe milkshake, just a number of different specials that they do have for you in the month of August, but also some delicious treats they have year-round for you as well. Well, folks, that concludes our side-by-side episode. And I have to say, when comparing the two side-by-side, when it comes to environment, both very different environment and both very different churro flavors. Now, with the environment, this was more my style. It was kind of a nice, calm, relaxing area. Had that cafe feel that they were really going for. The couch that I sat on was very comfortable. Whereas at El Churro, it was much more of like I'm thinking like a Mediterranean party. They had that loud music playing where you kind of just beat the beat up. And it was a vibrant environment. But this was more my style, and I enjoy that. Now, when it comes to the flavor of the churros, guess what? La Churreria, it also won it for me. And the reason is I just love the fluffiness and really the denseness of the churros and that stuffed churro. It was fantastic. If I had to compare it to El Churro is almost like eating cinnamon toast crunch directly out of the box. Just kind of a crispy, not much fluffiness to it really at all. And that's really what the difference when it did come to texture-wise between the two. Now, if you really want to get it going and just have the best experience possible, what you need to do is you need to go to El Churro, buy the honey lavender white chocolate dip, and then come here and get that stuffed Nutella churro because that is going to be what definitely gets it done for you. So, one to the other, this is my winner right here. But to get the super combo of them both, get the dip from one, and then come here and then get the stuffed churro. And from everyone over here at A Piece of New York, we just want to say thank you for the views. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, give us a subscribe. And we hope you have a great day and a better week. Take it easy, y'all. Bye-bye.